Can you guys hear me? Okay, good, good. Hi, cats. Sorry, it's Conquest from Invincible. Is who I'm doing. I didn't. I just realized you guys couldn't hear me a second ago. I don't think so. Sorry. I just realized that the sound was out. I guess again. Of course it is. Always got to be something. Oh wow. Yeah, it was. I realized that the sound was. I had just realized the sound was out. So I put it on my TV so I can help. It helps me see the comments and stuff. And um, who is Foxy? Yeah, that's why. No sound. It was. I don't know why the sound was off or not working. So, but who is Foxy? Matthew. I don't know who Foxy is. I need more reference than that. Um, Actually, I'm drawing kind of late today because usually I get started around 9 my time, and I'm about 2 hours late because I mostly I just couldn't get started, and then I'm coming. I'll be on probably be on in a little bit again after lunch, like I said. So um, I was having trouble picking what I wanted to draw. That's why it's I gotta maybe change this. I don't know yet. We'll see. I might have been doing this too big or whatever. I think I did it too big. We'll see. Oh yeah, I've not played Five Nights at Freddy. I haven't done any Five Nights at Freddy's. I need to watch or play or do something with the game, but I've not drawn anything from Five Nights at Freddy's yet. So uh, oh yeah. Where are you at again, Kat? You're in like the Netherlands or something? Netherlands or somewhere like that. You're in Europe area or that part of the country or world. Maybe further east, I think, but I can't remember right offhand. Yeah, it's only 11:21 here, so um, where I'm at in the East Coast. Well, East Coast ish. I'm really close to the East Coast at least. Like 4 hour or so drive from me is the ocean. So that's cool. I like that. It's closer than where I used to live at. When I lived in Alabama, it was like 6 hour drive. So not that it really matters. Or yeah, why? Oh, okay, cool. Taiwan, neat. I have somebody here that's Indonesia area, somewhere in that area. So that's cool. I heard Taiwan's very, very pretty, um, like as a country and stuff. So maybe one day I'll get to go out there and visit. Yeah, I've heard it's real pretty out there. Oh, nice. Savannah, Georgia. I've been there. I went to not Augusta, near Augusta. I went to AIT when I was in the Army in Augusta, Georgia. So not too far from Savannah. And I've been through Savannah a couple times. I went to that cemetery you guys have out there in that old creepy Monteville or whatever it is cemetery. That place was neat. Yeah, that place was kind of cool actually. So, oh, and I know it's an island, but I know it's like it's pretty like country wise, like your the land country wise is what I'm talking about. What's there and stuff. Like the tropical kind of vibe Taiwan has or whatever. It's like I always wanted to go. I want to go to Japan. I'd like to go to some places out in China and see like the just the different cool things out that way. I'd like to travel a lot more than I have. I've traveled a lot in my life, but like, you know, traveling is always fun because you get to see new things and new people, new experiences, new food, specifically food. At least in my case, I love eating I love that part of traveling. That is cool. Well, have fun, and I hope you have a blast. And also, I hate getting jealousy, total suck. And I mean that in like the jokey way, please. You know, because I would love to be able to go to Japan. I think that would be pretty stellar. My nephew's going out there in a couple months, actually. Him and his, I think, fiance girlfriend. I'm not sure what my mom's told me about it, but I can't tell you right offhand. So but yeah, my nephew is about to be going to Japan soon, and lucky asshole. I'm not sure why he's going out there though. Other than maybe just to visit. It could be other reasons. I don't know. It could be like doing a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament or something like that maybe. I know he came out here to Las Vegas a couple months or about a year or so ago and did a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament out here. I think he said he did all right at the tournament, but I can't really remember because it's Yu-Gi-Oh and I don't I don't really play much with play Yu-Gi-Oh or ever played Yu-Gi-Oh other than like watch the cartoon years and years ago. So, well, get some sleep, cats. I'll be back on in a little bit. Like because I'm only gonna be doing a like this sketching part right now. Um, so I'm almost halfway to the first big step I need to get monetized, guys. So thank you. This is from you guys helping out, watching these lives and stuff with me. That's getting me there closer to it. So thank you guys for watching and coming to the lives, talking to me, hanging out. Um, that makes a world of difference to actually have you guys here and talking to me and helping, all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate that. Oh, that's cool. I hope to go meet. I can't wait to go meet her voice actor in a few months. Actually, well, about 2 months now. Um, yeah, I can't wait to meet all of them. We like I said, we met Vizzy Pop or Vivian Madrino last year at this convention, but not anybody else. And I feel me and Chris are kind of I at least feel dumb because we didn't try to meet any of the other celebrity or the other ones that were there and stuff. So I kind of feel this he kind of is starting to look like Hulk Hogan a little bit, and that's not a bad thing, but like what's up? Yeah, is it Hagi? Yes, it is Conquest. Is it Hagi or Haji or how do you say like? I don't want to pronounce. I'm just gonna say Jag because I don't want to mess. I know I'm already messing it up, but I apologize. It's hard to kind of read it out on the screen to know sometimes what's people's names are. So I apologize. Neat. Did not know that. Neat. That's cool. Ike, uh, Polish king from 15th century. Where'd you get that name from? Like, or where'd you get that from history? Well, not like I know you got it from history, but like, what made you want that name from history as your username? Like, is there a cool backstory to the character or to the name or uh, monarchy and stuff? Oh, okay. I'm not sure what that means, but that sounds interesting. So that's kind of cool. At least there's a like a you have a legitimate like cool reason. I always kind of figure or try to find out like if somebody has a name that like is a specific type name, like that one or whatever, what the importance of it or why it's interesting and stuff. Um, so that's cool. That's really neat. Might have to look that up because it's something that I feel like I should know something about and then I don't. So neat. All right. That's cool. All right, guys. I don't want to go into your live, Mick Grimes. Sorry, I got a notification on my phone asking me to go to a TikTok live for somebody I know. He's a cosplayer for Walking Dead, and or he used to. Well, he still does it. But his whole thing is he looks like Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead, and you know, another Robert Kirkman show actually. I got a couple friends that cosplay um, Walking Dead characters and stuff throughout the years that I've known. I used to cosplay Daryl from Walking Dead, so and then I almost got a job down in Sonoy, Georgia, where they filmed The Walking Dead at one point with a touring company called Touring Dead down there in Sonoy, Georgia, and it was supposed to be for a Daryl cosplay, but because I can move and do kicks and I could do some of the fight choreography that Jesus from the show did. They were, and then also having long hair and stuff. They wanted me to be Jesus instead of Daryl, which would have been cool, but I lived 2.5 hours away at the time, and it was too hard for me to get back and forth for practice and rehearsals and then all that kind of stuff. So it just didn't pan out. But it would have been really interesting, I think, to do that. And then that's cool. All right. Cool reason to pick it. Yeah. Actually, it's a neat effect. All right. So we've been doing for about 20 minutes now. So yay. I had somebody ask me a while back about sketching, how fast I can sketch and or draw some stuff, and like it depends. Now that I'm thinking about it, because like I'm only 30, 23 minutes into this one, and I'm already this far. So like sometimes it's a lot less, sometimes it's a lot more, depending on how much I'm interacting, talking to you guys and stuff. Because if I talk a lot and I interact with you guys a lot, and or I'm showing off other art and stuff like that, I tend to take a little longer. There's nothing wrong with it either, any of it. It's just how it works. We need a like blue gray for that eye. That's cool. See, I just used my name, because I'm me, and I'm not that creative to like on some of it. For like, oh man, my name is such and such. My last name being Wall. I used to use Wall in my name for like my Facebook page used to be Wall Crafts, and you know I used that for a long time until I just decided that I needed something that was a little less confusing, I guess is the right word for it. Because Wall Crafts kind of seems more like I do arts and crafts stuff, um, than what I do. So changed it to Keith Wall Art. That, and I never had any cool names or nicknames and stuff. So like the coolest nickname I've ever had was Ginger Jesus, and take that or like it or hate it, that's been the nickname that I've gotten. That's kind of ever stuck with me, was Ginger Jesus of all things, or Hobo Jesus a couple of times, which I always thought was kind of funnier. And it's just because, like, the long hair and that crap. Um, so yeah, Ginger Jesus. I figured that one might not go well as a joke, even as the joke that it should be. It doesn't go over as well with certain people. Like they hated that when I lived in the South. Aaliyah, I'm sure, knows how she knows how Southern Baptist people are living in a Georgia area. They're weird, and nothing against them. And I'm not saying against all Southern Baptists, but as a whole, it was a weird experience living there. And in my case, specifically, because I'm a weird artist guy, so people automatically always thought I was just like a little bit weirder than anything else, I guess. Which, I mean, I am weird, but like not as weird as some of these people thought I was. Or weirder than some people thought I was, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, like I've never had any cool nicknames or anything. So I can't, like, I'd be like, oh man, my name is the Grim Reaper or some weird crap like that. Like, nope, I'm just Keith. I had a I met a dude years and years and years and years and years ago, and I asked him what his name was, and he's like, my name's Reaper. And I was like, oh, what? And he's like, my name is Reaper, not Reaper from here. Let's see, that's cool. At least you have a name, a nickname like that. Like Hippie was my nickname in high school. Okay, Hippie, and I am not a hippie, but also, again, long hair. Um, so not a cool nickname, as much. Uh, and then Ginger Jesus came after high school, but some of the people I've known from high school were the ones that were like, yeah, dude, you like Ginger Jesus and stuff. So, like I said, I never got any cool nicknames. So Keith Wall, that's the name. And it's easy for me to remember because that's who I am. I like Ghost. Ghost is a cool name. And like I was saying, the person, not Reaper, like that is a fan here and is in here a lot. But this person, like in person, told me their nickname was Reaper. Or no, not Reaper. It was Grim, as in Grim Reaper. And I was like, that's a really interesting nickname, man. Where'd you get that at? And he's like, oh no, nobody gave it to me. I want to be called Reaper, or I want to be called Grim. So that's what I tell people my name is. I was like, you can't give yourself a nickname. You can't be in there and be like, I want to be called Maverick and Tom Cruise and the movie and Top Gun. Like, somebody gave him the nickname Maverick, and that became his call sign. He didn't just start calling himself Maverick because like people would laugh him out of. They'd laugh at him if he started calling himself Maverick in the Air Force. You don't get call signs by like. You don't get a call sign by your own. So, but yeah, this dude was like, "Yeah, man, my name's Grim." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." Um, I've got a buddy back in Alabama. His nickname is Nugget, like chicken nugget, right? And he's kind of a big dude, Well, he's not a big dude like height wise, but he's fluffy. Okay, he's a little fat, and he's got a big head, and he shaves it too. So it's this big bald white head, and and his nickname is Nugget. He's had that since high school. His little brother is Little Nug, and all that. So like when I first met him and I was working with him, I asked him, I was like, "What's your name? Hey man, what's your name?" So I know what to, or who I'm talking to and stuff. Right after me and him first started, he started like about 2, 3 weeks after I did. And he's like, "My name's Nugget," and I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Nugget. My name's Nugget." I was like, "That's not your parents didn't name you Nugget. Like, you can't, no." And he's like, I was like, "What's the name on your like driver's license?" And he's like, "Oh, it's Josh," and or something. But he has like, I'm not gonna say his full name, but he had this really. His name is very much like a superhero type name. Like the alliteration is there and all. So, all right. Well, my time limit is up for this. So there's Ghost for now, and I'll be back in about an hour and a half or so after I get back from lunch and walk Ziggy. So I will see you guys in a little bit. See you later.